Hi friends, this is Akshata here. I have got a request from quite a few of my viewers as how to make homemade yogurt or dahi. So today I'll be showing you how to do that. Now what you require is some milk. You have to warm your milk, or if it's a new packet that you're opening, you have to boil your milk and bring it down to a little bit of a room temperature. Now, what we do at our home is, the previous day's milk that is there, we warm that up, also bring it down to room temperature, and then we add a little bit of the new milk. It's like a proportion of either half or 3/4, 1/4, depending upon how much of the previous day's milk is left. And then you require some dahi, homemade dahi, which is already made. You cannot use the store-bought one. For some reason it doesn't work and you don't really get very good and thick and nice dahi. If you're making it for the very first time, then you might have to ask either a neighbor or somebody, a relative or someone close by who has been making homemade dahi. That really gives you the thick and amazing dahi at home. So you take a bowl, you can use any type. I like using ceramic or glass, even steel works, plastic works. Only thing you have to remember that your milk has to be at room temperature. It should not be hot, it should not be ice cold from the fridge. It should be at room temperature. Now I like to use a strainer. The reason being, nobody likes to have a very a dahi with layers of skim or cream that comes on the surface of the milk. So we all like to have clean, very nice dahi, thick and clear. So my trick is first that you take the previous day's milk. In that way you can use up your previous day's milk and strain it. And then to whatever remaining portion is there, you just add your new fresh milk. And now there's also one thing I learned from my mother-in-law, that during the winter time you require to use more of the amount of the dahi that you're putting into the milk, and during summer you need to use a little less. The reason being, in the summer it's hot, the weather is hot, so the dahi, you require a little less dahi, the dahi gets set also very fast. Whereas winter, because of the climate and it's cold, you need to use a little more dahi and maybe keep the milk out for a longer time once you have put the dahi in it. So I normally take about 3/4 of a teaspoon. You don't need to use a lot when you're making. 3/4 of a teaspoon. In winter you might have to use 1 teaspoon, that's all. And I like to stir it in by counting 100 times, because that is it goes and spreads into the entire milk evenly. So it's just been a habit that 100 times it just happens. The dahi really becomes very nice after 12 hours. So now I normally make the dahi early in the morning, when I'm boiling the milk, and by evening, so if I start by 7 in the morning, by 7 in the evening or 7:30 my dahi is already formed, and then we like to refrigerate it. So you got to stir this for about 100 times, and also ensure that the vessel in which you're making your dahi is very clean and nice. And then you just have to cover it up and keep it in a nice warm place, not in a very hot place, in some particular place in your kitchen. I keep a designated place, it's a little bit warm and a little bit in a dark corner, and then you get this amazing, after 12 hours you get amazing dahi like this, thick and yummy to eat. It's not very sour, it just has a little bit of a sour element. So I hope you like this short recipe on how to make homemade dahi. If you have any questions, please leave your comments and questions in the comment box below. I'll be very happy to answer that. So this is Akshita signing off until another recipe, until another video. Take care. Bye. Making this beautiful curd rice or dahi rice. Now here I have about 1.5 cup of cooked rice. I'll leave the instructions as to how I've cooked the rice in the description box below. Here I have a cup of curd. I'll also leave a link of how I prepare my dahi or curd at home. I've just beaten it up a bit with a spoon. Here is half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mori. This is half a teaspoon of black pepper, some salt to taste, half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of hinga or asafoetida, a few fresh curry leaves. This is about 2 to 3 red chilies, and this is about 1 teaspoon of chana dal and some ghee, which I'm going to give a fodni or a tadka. Now I'm going to put the cooked rice into a bowl, a mixing bowl. Now to that I'm going to add my curd. It's very easy, friends, to prepare your own yogurt or curd or dahi at home. So please check out the link in the description box as to how you can make your own homemade dahi. Now give all of this a nice mix. Now I've used regular cooking rice at home, which we use at home for cooking. You don't need to use basmati or anything. Now I've just added some salt and the pepper. Now you can add the pepper also as per your taste. If you like a lot of pepper, you can add more. If you don't like pepper, you can skip it out. But the pepper does add a lovely flavor to this dish. So mix everything thoroughly. Now the rice also has to be nice and soft. It shouldn't be parboiled. It shouldn't be undercooked. It should be nice and really cooked well. So I've left the description in the description box as to how I've cooked my rice. Now I've heated up about 1.5 tablespoon of ghee or clarified butter. You need to use ghee for this recipe. Now I'm just going to fry some peanuts. This is completely optional. If you don't like peanuts, just skip this step. But I love that crunch of peanuts in this recipe. So I've just fried the peanuts till they are a little bit light golden brown in color. And then I'm just going to take them and keep them aside. Now this is a really nice recipe, if you want to cook up something really quick, and it's also very soothing and very nice to have. You can make this with fresh rice or you can make it with leftover rice also. But your rice has to be a little on the softer side. Then it really, elevates the flavor of the dish. Now I'm just going to add my chana dal. Just fry it a little bit. Now keep your flame between low and medium. Now I'm going to add my mustard seeds, the cumin, the hinga or asafoetida, the curry leaves, and the curry leaves do splutter, so just stay a little bit far from the flame. And now the red chilies, and we're going to fry the red chilies till they are a little bit on the crispy side. I'm using regular dried red chilies. So just fry them till they are a little bit crispy. And what happens is when you add all these elements to this clarified butter or ghee, they actually flavor the ghee with these beautiful flavors. So that really elevates and makes the dish even more beautiful and special. So now you can see that I'm frying the red chilies a bit. Don't over fry them also, just for about half a minute. And now friends, we're going to add this beautiful tadka that we have prepared to our rice and the dahi mixture. And the aroma in my kitchen is just beautiful at the moment. You have to make this dish to experience it. And now give everything a nice mix so the tadka or the fodni or the tempering actually goes into the rice and the dahi very well and flavors all of it. So give it a very nice mix, be very gentle.
And now all we have to do is just make our dish look pretty and really appetizing by decorating it with some beautiful coriander leaves, garnish it with some coriander leaves, and just bring out the look of the dish so everyone really feels like digging into it. So decorate it with some, or garnish it with some lovely coriander, some chopped coriander. And now all I have to do is just add this lovely peanuts which I fried. Like I said, it's completely optional, but it does give a lovely crunch to this dish. So add these beautiful peanuts to the dish, and friends, or you're ready to serve this dish. Now you can have the dish right away like this, but I like to serve it a little bit on the chiller side. So I like to put it into the refrigerator for about 5 to 10 minutes and then serve it nice and chilled. I hope you like today's recipe, guys. Give it a try. It's really, really amazing. Full Maharashtrian curry recipe. Now here are all the ingredients. Let me take you through them. So this is about 1 cup of homemade dahi, curd or yogurt. You can use the ready-made dahi also. This will be about 2 cups of water or as needed. Some salt to taste. Then about 2 teaspoons of sugar. This is about 2 tablespoons of chickpea flour or besan, 1 light green chili cut fine, 1 inch of ginger grated, a few curry leaves, about 7 to 8 which I've chopped fine, about 1 tablespoon of coriander for garnish. Now in the spices, we're going to use half a teaspoon each of mustard seeds, turmeric powder, asafoetida, and cumin, and about 1/4 teaspoon of fenugreek or methi seeds. I'm going to be using this wooden whisk, also called ravi. You can use a normal whisk too. Now we're going to start by making the buttermilk or the taak or the chas. So I'm going to empty my dahi. I have a recipe of how I make my homemade dahi or yogurt or curd at home. I'll leave a link below. Now, if you want to find any of my recipes, just type the recipe name in the YouTube search button and type Akshita's recipes next to it. So if you're looking for, curd recipe or dahi, just type dahi, Akshita's recipes, and my recipe will pop up. That's the easiest way to find me. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. And I'm going to whisk this. Now, generally, I whisk this, counting about 100 so that I get a, very smooth kind of texture. So you can do that too. Now we're going to add some water. Now I'm using this particular jar because it has a pouring kind of outlet, so it's easier for me. But you can use a regular vessel, you can use a pot, you can use anything where you can mix the ingredients together. Now I'm going to add the sugar. Now I'm adding 2 teaspoons of sugar, but you can always adjust it to your taste. Now again, whisk this really well. Again, we're going to add a little bit of the chickpea flour at a time, and we're going to whisk this, and we're going to ensure that there are no lumps of the chickpea or the besan. That's very important for a very smooth curry. So this is the most important part. So add a little bit of the chickpea flour or the besan at a time and just keep on whisking it. Ensure there are no lumps at all. Now what the chickpea flour or the besan does is it thickens up this curry. Now some people like the curry, really thick, some like it thin. So I will show you how to adjust the taste, according to what you like it. So now you can see that my paste is lump free and it's nice and smooth. Now this is very important for a lovely smooth curry. So now I'm going to heat up my pan. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of clarified butter or ghee. Now once my ghee is nice and hot, I'm going to first add half a teaspoon of my mustard seeds or mohori or rye. Let them splutter. Now we're cooking on a low to medium flame. Once that happens, you add your half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Next, we're going to add our chopped green chili. Now you got to fry the green chili really, really well. Now here you can see I'm using this iron kind of spoon. Don't worry, I'm not touching it too much to the base of the non-stick pan. But they say that you should make the curry with this iron kind of a spoon if you have one. It's not compulsory, but they say that it's you should use it when you're doing this. Anyway, so I'm adding the asafoetida or the hinga, and I'm also adding the haldi or the turmeric powder. Now I don't know how true it is, but the saying goes that okay, I'm going to add the curry leaves. They say that when you're making taak or curry, and if you use this iron kind of spoon, it kind of soaks in all the iron or absorbs the iron. I don't know how true that is, guys. Anyway, so now I'm going to add the grated ginger. And I am going to fry the ginger really, really well. So I'm really being extremely gentle with the spoon so I don't spoil my pan. So don't be worried about it, because I get lots of comments as to Akshata, why are you using a steel spoon or wooden spoon? Don't worry, guys, I'm taking a lot of care of my cookware. Anyway, so now I'm going to add the fenugreek seeds or the methi seeds, and this also adds a nice little element, or a nice little taste to the curry. So add that. And now we're going to saute everything really, really well. Now this curry can be, had all by itself. Now I'm going to add this, the buttermilk that we made with the sugar, the salt, and the chickpea flour. So now you see I use that jar so that it's easier for me to pour it into the pan without spilling any. But like I said, you can use a normal bowl. Now, the most important thing in making this curry is you have to stir this curry continuously. Otherwise, there are chances of it, curdling. So just kind of keep an eye on it. Don't just leave it by itself. So on a very low to medium flame, you add, keep stirring. Now you see I want a little thinner consistency, so I'm adding a little bit more of water. But like I said, if you like a thicker curry, then don't add water. But if you want a very thin consistency, it's upon how much, how you like your curry. On the basis of that, you add your water. So I just rinse the same buttermilk jar that I was using and put some water. So now the main thing is you got to keep stirring till it comes to a gentle boil on a low heat. Don't stop stirring it. And once it comes to a boil, immediately switch it off and just garnish it with some beautiful chopped up coriander. That's all, guys, and this curry goes amazingly well with some hot rice, or you can just have it all by itself. It's super delicious. So if you've never tried it out, do try it out, and I'll
here with yet another delicious and quick recipe. Today I'll be showing you how to make some dahi kebabs. So let's go through our ingredients. This is some hung curd. I will leave the instructions in the description box below as to how I prepared this hung curd. Then we require some breadcrumbs, 1.5 tablespoon of rice flour, you can also use corn flour, 1.5 teaspoon of roasted cumin or jeera powder, 1 very small onion diced very finely, the paste of 2 light green chilies and half an inch of ginger, and salt to taste. Now you'll also require some water in a plate, because we are going to make kebabs or cutlets out of this hung curd. So first let us prepare our mixture. Now to prepare our mixture, we will take this hung curd. To this we will add our very finely diced onion, next goes in our ginger and green chili paste, our cumin powder, some salt to taste, and rice flour. This rice flour is a binding agent. And now we are going to mix everything well together till everything gets well incorporated. Now once our mixture is well mixed, we are going to start making our kebabs. Now it is very important that you also keep a kitchen towel or a napkin, because you have to wipe your hands quite often. So what we're going to do is we're going to first wet our hands, take a little of the mixture, form it into a small ball, and then roll it into your breadcrumbs and press it down to get a kebab like this. Now what I like to do is, after I make this, I like to keep it in my refrigerator for at least half an hour and then fry it. Now you can deep fry it, you can shallow fry it. These kebabs are just melt in the mouth kebabs. So you can make this like this. Here are my dahi kebabs ready. So I'll be keeping this in the refrigerator for at least half an hour and then we are ready to fry it. Friends, now it's been about half an hour and our dahi kebabs are all ready. Here I have a plate lined up with some kitchen paper, and I have my oil heating up. So we are now ready to fry our dahi kebabs. You can shallow fry these, but they turn out nice and crispy and soft in the center if they are deep fried. Also remember to keep a little bit of gap between them. Don't overcrowd your pot. I learned this recipe from my sister-in-law, Dr. Anagha. The first time she had made it for us, it was just fabulous and we just couldn't believe this kebabs. They were so delicious. You have to try these kebabs out. Now once they start browning on the lower side, we will turn them so they fry evenly. This is a very good starter or just a snack item. You don't have to fry them for very long, just till they turn a little golden brown, and then we will take them out very gently And in this way I will fry the rest of my dahi kebabs. Again, your stove top has to be from medium to slow. Don't fry it on a high fire, otherwise it will get burnt and it will not taste nice at all. Friends, dahi kebabs. Please do try out this recipe and please do let me know how it turned out in the comments box below. Please subscribe to my channel for many more recipes. And once you have subscribed, please press the bell icon so every time I upload a new video, you'll be the first one to know. This is Akshata. Until another video, take care. Bye.